That's life communication, right?
Yeah.
I have to tell you a funny story later. Welcome back to Yoga Express, your virtual stretch clinic that helps you move the body to still the mind. My name is Banu Suresh. I'm your host for this program. To continue on the wave of energy that we've been taking you through in the last couple of episodes, we have back with us Dr. Mike D'Auria to my left and Sarah Torres to my left. To my right. Did I say left again? To my right. Sarah, you are an up-and-coming author and a model and an actress, and now you're also a writer. I want you to just very briefly fill us in on what else you've been doing, not between yesterday and today, but something that you started off yesterday. I'd like you to finish up. You're talking about your essays, right?
Oh, yeah, with the Black Opal
Yeah.
thing? Yeah,
Well, we don't want to name the company, but I know you're entering an essay contest. That's okay. That's fine.
Yes, I am. And they're looking for a spokesmodel. I would love to be their spokesmodel because I tend to believe that there's going to be a certain amount of writing or actual public speaking incorporated, and that's right up my alley. So I really look forward to that. But there are other things underway, working on my personal script.
Right?
And,
yeah, that's right. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, my personal script for what I want to do.
Didn't you promise us a hip-hop yoga sequence sometime?
Oh,
you're working on that too?
That's too much. Yeah, I have it. I didn't know how to bring the music in.
That's fine. You can bring it on a tape, whatever.
Right.
Sarah, you bring your talent here. We'll share it with the world. That's what we
Cool.
want. Okay?
All right.
All right. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And you can put it to any music, hip-hop, whatever you like is fine. We'll work with you. But don't
I think
expect
I'm
me
gonna
to
make a
move very
17
fast. I'm going to move slow, okay?
No, I'm gonna pick some nice pace things so that you can get it. And you ever watch a choreography show?
Not really.
Oh, what they do is
I've
they'll
seen
be
the
like,
rockets.
all right, we'll be like 1, 2, chakra, right? And then you'll be like, you got to try to remember that.
Okay.
And then you add the music to it.
Hey, we're with you. Just keep it a little slow. Remember, I'm over 50, okay? You got to be gentle with me.
I remember that. Just don't join any.
Thank you,
salsa
Sarah. No, we're looking forward to that. Moving on, Josian Hurd, our director, thank you so much for once more holding the fort for us. You're flying solo again. We appreciate that. Melanie Morgan, thanks for the studio gobos, the lights, and the wonderful chakras, talking about chakras behind us. Before I reintroduce our special guest today, a little bit of housekeeping. Yoga Express airs Monday through Friday on Time Warner 57, RCN 84, and FiOS 35 at 1:30 in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time. We have a lot of support for you. Besides this yoga fitness program, we have my third title, Yoga Secrets, which I'm holding upside down, but now it's straight way up. Yoga Secrets, which has 2+8 ailment-specific cards inside, so you can really chalk out your little program for the day. So you can do about 10 or 20 postures each day. And if you come to the studios and stretch with us, we'll give you this, plus a postcard with 48 simple stretches and a fridge magnet with the simple sequence 48 plus, so you have no excuse not to stretch. So stay with us, stretch with us. Now for the big moment, Dr. Mike D'Auria. If you'd like to Google Dr. Mike, type his name up, Mikedaura. Dr. Mike's credits will come up in the lower third part of your TV screen in just a moment. To my left, Dr. Mike D'Auria. Dr. Mike, I have your permission to call you Dr. Mike, right? Now, something before we move on with what you do with your patients in your clinic, I'd like to ask you, where is your clinic? Are you willing to share that on air?
Oh, yeah.
Where are you?
Working in Queens right now. That's where
You're in
I'm running my
Queens,
clinic.
and is it accessible by train? Because there may be people, after watching in the last couple of episodes, there may be people who want to come in and say hello.
Yeah, it's accessible off the R train, M train. It's
RM, okay.
Middle Village in Queens right now. I'm working.
In the Middle Village. Is there a bus as well that takes them there?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Do you happen to know the bus number?
Not offhand, no.
That's fine. The R and the M, or take a bus somewhere in the Middle Village. But contact Dr. D'Auria. His number and email are on the screen right now, in the lower thirds, which is the bottom left at the on the screen.
Also on Facebook too, if people want to contact me
Yeah,
there.
that's right. I forgot to ask you about
Yeah.
that. So, Mike D'Auria or Michael D'Auria, how do they type you up? Or Facebook, how
Or
do they
they
look
could
you
use
up?
the email to find me on there.
Perfect. So email Dr. D'Auria, and so people will email you and you will send them the Facebook link? Is that how it works? I don't understand. How
Or
does
they
it-
could use...
I'm not a Facebook person,
Oh,
so I
well,
don't
they could
understand.
use my email to find me on Facebook or use my
I
name.
didn't know that. Okay, all right.
just
You need to
email
make
me
me tech
directly.
savvy.
Yeah.
Email. That's what I understand. Email Dr. Mike D'Auria. Find him on Facebook. Google him. Do whatever you need to find him, because he can share a lot of wonderful tips with you.
A lot of times on my Facebook site too, I'll publish chiropractic articles or
Oh, you do?
nutrition, yoga, like things relevant to
Fabulous.
health.
In
and-
fact, I remember you said you were going to touch on a little bit of nutrition towards the end of today's episode.
yeah.
This is
you have a regular website?
Not yet. Not
no,
yet.
I just use my Facebook and
Facebook at
Oh,
the
for the
moment.
tips and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's
it's
wonderful.
a page or like a personal page.
both I have.
So you have like a professional page,
And a person.
and
And
that will
personal.
come under your name, the professional page. Okay.
Okay, so Google him, Facebook him, do whatever. Get in touch with Dr. Mike D'Auria in Queens. Dr. Mike, I had checked with you before we started today. We were going to go through about 5 of the simple postures on my postcard, which you also share with your clients
Yeah.
in Queens.
If it benefits them, definitely use it.
Right,
to help
if it
in their
benefits them.
rehab.
So when we do the stretches, I'd like you to help us understand how it's benefiting us, and feel free to take us into extensions or adaptations of those postures. Before we move on,
Sure.
I want to ask a little bit about your personal side. You have a lot of interests other than chiropractic and yoga. I know you also do martial arts. What else do you do? What else are you up to?
I'm also an actor. That's one of the reasons I moved to New York City too.
Right, okay.
So I've
You
been
do
pursuing
any-
that. I do a lot of theater, film, and one of my passions is improv and improv comedy, which I
Okay.
absolutely love. But
Does your acting work take you outside of New York City or wherever?
occasionally, yeah, I'll do film shoots in Connecticut or Massachusetts, New Jersey, but mostly,
Sarah's an actor and model too. Okay.
yeah, mostly New York. I mean,
Okay.
either New York or Los Angeles. If
Right. Because
That's
now
where you
that you
wanna
have
go.
your own practice, you may not want to go too far for too long.
Oh yeah, my practice comes first, and
Right.
the acting works in with it. Everything blends perfectly.
That's your passion. Yes, it's wonderful. So after these episodes, once you start, and we hope you will come as regularly as you can, because I know, as you said, your practice comes first. But once you start coming on our episodes too, it's good for us and our viewers, and we hope that our viewers will come and seek you out. So you're not going to be able to go very far after that once you start staying with us. So, Dr. Mike, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take our viewers through a few simple twists, some forward folds, and then we'll come in supine position and do the bridge, the plow and the bridge as well. And each time we'd like you to help us understand what good it's doing for our body. Works for us? All right, let's do that. Let's all come in. We are in seated position, so that's great. Actually, before we actually do the twist, Sarah, don't get too excited because I know you love twists, so do I. Before we do that, Dr. Mike and I were talking about breathing, the easy breathing techniques. And I would like to share 2 very simple breathing techniques which aligns very well with Dr. Mike talked about a couple of days back. And we practiced in the last episode about the belly breathing, so you're doing the full yogic breathing. Today we'll take you through 2 simple ones. One is called Kapalbhati. You can keep your knees. Now, what you've noticed, you might notice that suddenly I look taller. What I'm doing is I'm using a block to sit. So once I sit on the block, it brings my torso up, so it gives me more room to fill my abdominal region with oxygen, right?
And this is one of the things I wanted to emphasize too,
Yes,
is just
please.
even sitting. I'm guilty of it myself on occasion, but like everybody slouches just
Right.
sitting on the subway or trains, chairs, working all day long.
We sit at tables all the time, tables and chairs,
And no one uses the proper posture.
Right.
So even as a basic pose, just sitting like this, keeping your low back in for the low back curve,
Very nice, okay.
and chest out, shoulders back and down, chin up, and you want to pretend there's a string on top of your head like always.
I love
and
that.
brings you straight to the ceiling.
This is so much work.
And
Yeah.
that's because
Like so
She
uncomfortable.
says that's a lot of work, but
because
after
we're not
a
used
while,
to it.
It'll
And
be second nature after a while, Sarah.
You know, when you first have a kid and they learn how to sit and you sit them anywhere, they're like so straight.
Right.
Like it's just so
See,
interesting
that's
to me.
nature. Naturally, we all sit upright.
Yeah.
Yep.
We
It's
just
our-
spoil our postures, right?
Yeah.
By doing slouching over the computer.
yeah, it's our natural inclination to just want to slouch down
Right.
like that.
So
But if you
comfortable.
notice, that's what brings our head forward,
Right.
rounds out the back, and brings the low back curve out too. So that's where it's going to give your predilection towards a lot of problems in the
That's
future.
fascinating, 'cause that-
So
Is
doing
that why people have humps, or is that something else? Because I was
Yes
told
and no.
if I slouch too much, I'm gonna have a hump.
you
I
a
told
lot of
you
times
she was crazy.
No,
I was misinformed.
she is crazy, but in this instance, she's right. The humps come from what we're saying when you're hunched over like this, but it's like we were talking about before. When you lose the disc space, what happens is the curve is going to increase in the back, and you're going to hunch over because you're losing that disc space that expands it.
wow.
That's why a lot of times when people don't take care of the mid back or have bad posture, eventually they get hunched over like that. That's why keeping the chest forward, shoulders back and down is going to keep the proper posture.
The other thing I find when I sit up,
Disc space is one of the most important things that we neglect.
Right,
Disc
right.
space, disc health, because
it's
the spinal
stretches us.
column is what houses your brain and spinal cord and all your nervous system,
Right.
which is constantly firing with everything we do. And if there's malpositions or joint dysfunction, it's going to alter that nerve flow.
Right.
And you have a bone, and in between is your disc. If
Right,
you're
right.
starting to lose that disc
it
space,
collapses.
eventually you're going to put excess pressure on that
Bone
nerve.
to bone, yeah.
And eventually your body is very intelligent, and it's going to start forming spurs on those two bones to try to bring them together to
it's
make
like
it more
they're
stable.
welded.
Exactly. And then eventually the last step is they fuse together
Right, right.
over time.
So you can get a hunch from slouching.
A lot, yep. That's why
Focus and uncomfortable.
That's why I feel x-rays are very important on patients, because you're not just looking for something that's fractured. Chiropractors look sometimes a little deeper on x-rays. We look for disc space, and it's almost like the x-rays telling us a story of what happens. Like you could have been in a car accident 10 years ago and not had treatment or anything for it through adjustments to get motion back in a joint. And if you had disc damage, that disc is going to slowly die off, and you might see your neck might be perfect in almost every joint space. A couple of them, though, you might have minimal disc space, and one joint might even be fused because that disc was almost ruptured. Because pain is a psychological response. Like you can have something going on and not even know about it. A lot of times people are walking around with disc damage, disc herniations,
even know
bulges,
it.
you don't even know it. And that's
just
why you
simple
might bend
breathing.
over to pick up a pencil, and all of a sudden your
You
back
get
goes
that-
out. Then they come.
Well, we need to protect ourselves. Let's just one simple breathing technique in the interest of time, and then we'll do some of the postures that Dr. Mike uses with his clients also. It's called Bhastrika, and in yoga we believe that this is an amazing breathing technique that helps prevent or alleviate constipation. So we're going to breathe through the lower abdomen. Bhastrika literally means bellows, the kind that goldsmiths use the old-fashioned way. So here's what we're going to do. You could sit on your heels, or you could sit on something that helps prop you up. If you're comfortable sitting cross-legged without any props, that's fine. If you have a block, feel free. That'll bring your torso up. And if you're sitting cross-legged, the way all three of us are doing, you can keep your palms open, thumb and index finger together, close your eyes. And what we're going to do, we call these strokes. We're going to take a deep inhale first through the lungs, and then we're going to exhale through the belly, inhale again through the lungs. So you're going to go in and out. So in through the lungs, exhale through the belly, in through the lungs. So it's like a bellows motion, and we'll do it once to show you, and we'll do it 2 or 3 times for ourselves as well. So let's do this. Take a deep breath in. Exhale through the belly. Inhale through the chest, exhale through the belly. It's like a train chugging out of the station. So what you're doing, just think of a train in motion. It's leaving the station. First it starts off slow, and then you move faster and faster and faster. And each of these motions is called a stroke. So now that you know what we're about, let's take a deep breath in. Exhale. We'll do one last time. And of course, you want to make sure that your nostrils are clear. So you want to be sure you take a deep breath in and start making those strokes with your belly moving in for exhales. Inhale through the chest, and they're loud inhales and exhales. Forceful inhale, forceful exhale. One last time. Take a deep breath in. Till you've exhausted all the air out of your system, so the train is chugged out right out of the station. This is great for the low abdominal movement, so your bowel movement gets nice and your bowels get nicely regulated.
We should keep breathing to get the yoga hard. Like right there, I swear. No.
Actually, this is a great breathing technique. There are lots of other techniques we'll share with you over a period of different episodes. Right now, we would like to follow Dr. Mike's sequence. So let's all come into half spinal twist. Ardha Matsyendra. Ardha is half. Matsya is fish. Matsyendra, Lord of the Fishes. Tuck the left heel under the right buttock. Cross the right foot over the left knee. This is a little bit of an abdominal twist, and which Sarah loves very much. She's already into the posture. Push your right knee in to the left and torque your upper body to the right. So you're already quarter way there. Half spinal twist and you're quarter way there. Now, right knee is up. Hold the right knee in with your right hand. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale, dip your left elbow over the right knee. I'm going to help my left knee up and hold on to the left knee with my right hand. Otherwise, I come undone. And then take the right hand behind you. Turn to look back. You don't have to go too deep. If you're very flexible the way Sarah is, feel free to do a bind, but you want to make sure that your shoulders come up. Now, if you don't go too deep, or you're just halfway there, not even halfway there, you're fine as long as you feel the twist. You do need to have the way Dr. Mike has it. He's got his shoulders back, his chest is open, his chin is up, and he's not going too deep right now. He's just going he's in a comfortable position. Dr. Mike, any observations? Is there any way we can correct this or make it better?
No, exactly what you said. You want to ease into it. You only want to go as far as you can with proper spinal alignment.
Right.
So you want to make sure your head is up, your shoulders are back and down, you still have the curve in your low back, and both the parts of your pelvis are planted on the ground.
Right.
You don't want to try to force into it because then it could cause unnecessary problems.
Right. And I find if I wiggle my right foot forward, my butt comes down a little more on the right side. So that's probably a good idea,
Yep.
right? To feel
Yeah.
comfortable.
You always want to move on the exhale so you have oxygen in the muscle.
Right. Okay. That's a great tip. Inhale. Let's release. Release your hand first and then untangle your legs, and let's switch sides. We do believe it's very important to stay balanced. Tuck the right heel under the left buttock. Cross the left foot over the right knee. Now, once you have your left foot crossed over, and Dr. Mike pointed out in the last episode too, one side feels, the body has its own misalignment. So one side feels more flexible, this side cooperates a little more for me. So I'm going to bring my left foot a little closer. Push your left knee in, torque your upper body to the left. Hold your left knee in with your left hand, inhale the right arm up. Exhale. Dip your right elbow over your left knee and then hold on to either your right knee or any part of your garment on the left side of your thigh. Take your left hand behind you and then twist and turn to face behind. Turn to face back. Remember, I'm not a native English speaker, so you have to forgive any mistakes that I make. Now, you want to keep your shoulders down, as Dr. Mike just explained. Ease into this posture if it feels a little uncomfortable. Wiggle your left foot further forward as I'm doing right now. That helps me keep my butt down. Hold it. When we say hold, it's always hold your posture, not your breath. Keep breathing. Sarah, you remember that little girl, right?
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Inhale. Very gently release the right hand. And then let's extend the left leg out in front of us. Janu Sirsha, head to knee. Janu is knee, Sirsha is head. So literally the aim, and I'm not saying we're all going to get there. Sarah might get there. Dr. Mike, I don't know. He's got his own hidden sides. I don't know how he is in this. But I know my head won't get to my knee today. But you know what? I'm going to do the best I can. And it's about approaching the posture. So it's okay if your head doesn't get to your knee today. But to help you get a little further forward, I'm going to sit on a block. That helps me go down just a little more. Brings my torso up. Now, left leg is extended, left foot is flexed. So when you flex your foot, you're stretching the back of the legs. So you actually feel, can you feel that stretch, Sarah? You feel it, right? And turn to face the extended legs. So you're actually nicely aligned. Is that good? Nicely aligned? Okay.
Yep. Hips square.
Hips are nice and square. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to inhale, take our arms up all the way overhead. Sorry, Sarah. Take your arms all the way overhead. Clasp your fingers together. That's to get that little space, that extra space Dr. Mike was talking about 2 episodes ago. Exhale, fold from the hip. Keep your back nice and straight. It's okay if your hands don't go down over your toes. Funny enough, it helped me bring my torso up, but this brick is now in my way going forward, so I'm going to take that out.
Yeah, that's one thing I was going to explain.
Right.
As you're coming down, you want to keep the perfect posture we had in the beginning,
right,
with the arch in the back, chest forward, but you're still coming down from when you say bend from the hips,
right,
you're not bending from the upper body, you actually are bending from
literally
the hips.
from
So
the hip.
Your upper posture stays the same and you bend at the hip joint down here. So
right,
your upper posture is not changing. Well, a lot of people, the mistake they make is they just fall forward and down.
I remember
and
that.
They
Yeah,
lose
you
that.
mentioned that. That's right.
And
what
then
is that
they're
doing
not
to
getting
their
the
back?
full benefit of the stretch, but they're also changing the curves and stuff in the low back
Wow.
and the neck. So
think
you
I
want to
can-
keep that curve in the low back, keep the curve in the neck,
I can come up.
shoulders back and down, and then you come forward and then
Go
follow
just
through with
as
the
far
poses
as the
you were
body will
doing.
take us, and that's okay because the hip is like a hinge. So you just go as
Yep.
far as it takes us today.
he's
Let's
trying to
fold the left leg in.
straight.
Extend the right leg
so
out.
hard. It's so hard.
Extend the right leg out. I think we have 5 minutes left. Thank you, Josiane. Turn to face the extended leg. And on this side, I'm not going to use the brick because now I have an idea, I have a sense of how far my body can go down. So I'm not going to force myself into it. Now keep your right foot flexed. Inhale the arms all the way overhead. Turn your palms in. Clasp your fingers together. Exhale, fold from the hip. Make sure that the sole of your left foot is attached to the inside of your upper right thigh. When you fold over, you're leading with your chest. And then give yourself if your hands reach the soles of your feet, give yourself a little bit of a massage right there. And I believe that the nerves that end in the soles of your feet lead to other glands and organs. There are 72,000 nerves that end in the soles of our feet and the palms of our hands. So every time we make contact either with the palms on the floor or the soles of our feet, or you get a chance to massage it, you're massaging the internals. Other than getting a punch in the gut, Sarah, this is a good way to massage the insides. So feel the delicious stretch on the back of your right leg, Janu Sirsha, head to knee. If your head comes down, and I remember Dr. Mike had made a beautiful suggestion, if your head is not going to come down today, bend your knee just a little bit. just to get a sense of how it feels to have your forehead touch your knee. And it's still not touching, so that's okay. I'm willing to wait another 50 years. Inhale. Let's come up with a straight back. And then extend the left leg out. We have about 3 minutes. I think we're doing great for time. Extend both the legs out this time. And this time, Dr. Mike, as we fold over, please feel free to help us understand what it's doing to the spinal extensors, the whole back of the spine. Is that correct? Spinal extensors in the back of the spine?
When you come forward like this,
yes.
this would be more of the flexors. When you
Flexors.
come backwards, that
The
would be more
flexors
of
are
the
getting
extensors.
a stretch. Which one? Where are the flexors? Are they in the front or the back?
Flexors would be in the
Ah,
front,
the front,
to bring
right,
it forward.
right. So the extensors are getting a stretch and the flexors are
Yeah.
strengthening. Got it.
There's so many muscles in there. I mean, there's a mixture of both, but
Right.
basically it's the action. Flexion is when you're bringing things together. Extension is bringing it
Oh.
apart.
Got it.
So
Okay.
there's a lot of different muscles firing
So as we
all at the
fold
same
over,
time.
feel free, help correct us. We want to make sure we're doing it right. Inhale the arms up to shoulder height, palms facing down. Keep inhaling. Take your arms all the way overhead, palms facing in. Clasp your fingers together. Exhale, fold from the hip. Remember to hinge forward. Lead with the chest. It's okay if your hands don't go all the way to your toes or over the soles of your feet. You can place your hands at your ankles, your shin, even your knees, because right now your legs are resting on the mat, so your knees are not going to go back, and you're fine with that. So fold over. Once you're down all the way, pull your body forward. Every day is a new day, so you can fold over 1 millimeter every day. Any observations here, Dr. Actually, you know what? I have a question for you. While we are in this posture, I know Sarah can hold it forever. Why is it that the human body, the knees bend backward? The knees, yes, bend backward, and the elbows fold forward. Why? The elbows can only go forward. Elbows cannot go back, and the knees cannot come forward. They can only go back. Tell me, Sarah. It's a quiz.
I don't think we're understanding what you're saying.
Oh, what I'm saying is, why is it the knee only bends back and the elbows only come forward? Why can't the elbows go back and the knees come?
Oh, it's a ball and socket joint.
Is that
So
all
it
it
only
is?
goes-
There must be
The
some other.
shoulder?
No, I'm
Yeah, the
sorry.
shoulder's
Elbows.
ball and
You know
socket.
how the
Yeah, this
elbows only go this way?
Yeah.
Elbows cannot go backward,
What is
right?
it? What is it? Because
And then-
ball and socket joints make you do this.
That's
These
in the
don't
shoulder.
do that because it's not a ball and socket joint.
Thank you. I don't know. I never understood that.
She I don't think he knew what you were saying. She just wanted to know how come it just goes in this direction and not like all over the place the way
No, not backward. I mean, there's something here, right? There must be something here that.
your elbow.
Well, your elbow
Stops you.
locks out, yeah.
Right. And the knees only fold over this way. You can't bring your knees upward. Anyway, that was just floating through my mind. I had to ask him that.
More so protection from older times.
Okay.
Because you need to bring your arms up and you need to bring things to your mouth to be able to feed yourself.
Okay.
And then
All right.
to be able to walk, you need your feet to be able to, your knees to be able to flex.
You know, the funny thing is, I saw this movie where this extraterrestrial character could bend his knee both ways. That's why that image is floating in my
You know, when
mind.
you were saying that, I was thinking about Men in Black. Because
Was
remember
that
the
right?
thing that jumped up to
Yeah.
the roof?
It may have been
He
that.
he did his legs the opposite way and sprung like on top
Inhale,
of the
let's
building.
come up. I think we're all already up. We have two postures in prone position, in supine position. So let's come on our back with our heads to the camera. So we have the plow and we have the bridge. And Dr. Mike, you had some great explanation to do with nutrition in these postures and also to do with the thyroid. So while we're getting into it, please feel free to keep talking. Now we're going to do the plow. You want to do the bridge first? Let's do that. Bring your heels close to your buttocks, shoulder blades tucked under your shoulders, under your upper back. Hold on to your ankles. Inhale, lift your buttocks up. Feel free to support your buttocks with your hands. Dr. Mike, all you